Hi, it's Jane, and today I'm going to make a journal. These are going to be Christmas presents. And I bought some blank book pages from a company called Talas, T-A-L-A-S, online. It's a blank journal, 4x6. And actually, the real size is 3 5/16 by 5 7/8, which is perfect because then you can cut your boards, your cover boards, to 4x6, and it'll give you just that little bit of what do you call it? The over. You know what I mean. So I'm going to cut my boards today to fit the journal and the spine. And also, this is my book cloth. It's just an old piece of fabric. It's actually an old blouse that I had that I couldn't wear any longer, but I liked the fabric, so I cut up the blouse and I ironed on some heat and bond. I just wanted to show you how I'm making book cloth for the next little journals that I'm going to be making. I'm using heat and bond, and I'm ironing it on the back of my chosen fabric. This is just a cotton that I'm going to use to cover my books. And I've already ironed this piece on, and then when I peel it off, there's going to be this like shiny backing that I'm just using it as a stabilizer to cover my books with this cloth. So I'm going to show you how I did that with this piece. It's the same piece of cloth, which I didn't prepare. I wanted to iron it first to get it nice and smooth. And when you do this, just follow the directions on the package of your heat and bond. It'll tell you how to iron the heat and bond onto your fabric. And that's what I'm going to do right here. I turn it on over, and on the back side, I am going to take a piece. This was actually an old shirt, and I liked the fabric, so I didn't throw the shirt away. I'm using the fabric. And I'm just going, I only need about this much. The book is rather small, so I'm just going to measure about that much. I don't know, what is that, 12 inches? It's going to be way bigger than the book I need, but that's okay. And I just lay the rough, shiny side. You know, it shows you this rough side. You lay that down on top of the fabric because that's the side that's the adhesive. And the paper side is up. And I just go ahead and iron it on. That's all I'm doing. Simple as that. Tear off the back of the heat and bond paper. This is my book board, and it is actually binder's board. I purchased this many years ago. It's acid free, and it's called binder's board. And it is from Line Co. Company in Holyoke, Mass. So I don't know if they're still in business, but that's where I got this. I actually ordered it online, I'm sure. But anyways, so I'm going to cut out the covers, 2 pieces that will be 4x6, and 1 spine piece, which I already measured and I already forgot. It's 3/8 of an inch. The spine on here is 3/8 of an inch, so to cut spine as well. So let me measure this out. All right. All right. Now I'm going to actually my box cutter to cut this. I'm going to stand up to do this. I definitely need a new blade. There we go. Okay. Now that is 4 inches. Perfect. By 6 inches. Now see how that just hangs a little bit over the edge? That's just what I wanted. So it's just a 1/16 of an inch over this, over the edge of the paper, like that. 6 inches here. It's gonna be beautiful. Okay. All right. Now the spine is 3/8 of an inch. Now I've mentioned it before in my other videos that I'm not a professional bookbinder of any means. I just like doing it, and I'm just showing you how I do it. That's all. There. And now I've got to cut the spine the same height. I could probably take a pair of scissors and do this. So I've got all my pieces. I left a little bit of like rough edges here. So I'm going to take my sandpaper if I can find it. So this is just a sponge, a sanding sponge. And I'm just taking the rough edges off of there because my blade is getting dull, you know, so I need to change my blade. All right, that's good enough. Alrighty, now I have look at that. Okay. I need to get my fabric. Now, there's no right way or wrong way on this fabric, so I don't care how I cut it out. But I do want to get a nice straight edge here. I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm just going to, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight because it's all going to be folded in and glued down, and no one's going to see the edge, so that's fine. I'm not going to do any exact measuring on this. I'm just going to put this down to where I think I'd want to. And I'm putting about a 1/16 of an inch between the pieces. So where the spine is, there's the front cover, 1/16 of an inch, the spine, 1/16 of an inch, and then the book cover. And I'm just going to, and that pencil's not going to work, so you know what? I'm just going to use this. Okay. Now that's going to fit. Perfect. Yeah. See? Just a little bit around the edges like that. That's probably, oh, I don't know, less than an inch. 3/4 of an inch, I'd say. Ooh, this is a 1/2 inch there. So I've cut it about a 1/2 inch beyond the book cover pieces. All right, now I can glue these down, and I'm using PVA glue. It's archival, and it's my favorite glue. It's nice and thick, and so I've got my trusty old catalog here, which I use to glue on. And I want just a thin coat. I don't want it too thick, because it's just going to leave lumps in the fabric. So I'm brushing it on thin, and I'm going a little fast because it's dry in here in this room today. So this glue is going to dry fairly quickly. All right. And I can take my spreader or squeegee from Bondo, who I'm not affiliated with in any way. Did I get glue on there? You know, part of my problem is I forget about the material, you know, the mess that's on my table, and then I stick something in it. So let's get rid of this top page so that I don't stick my cover into it and ruin it. Yeah. Okay. So that's on there really nice. I think that's going to work out really nice. Alrighty, let's get my second piece down there. I'm liking this. Alright, again, nice and thin. You don't really want it on the sides there because you're not trying to glue the sides down, but it's getting on the sides as I'm doing this. Alright, let's get that one down. And like I said, I'm just eyeballing this. Away from the first piece and make sure it's all lined up. You can take your ruler if you want and, you know, do one of these to make sure that it's nice and straight, you know, like that. I don't know if you can see it, but I just kind of lined it up And I've made sure that the edges are all nice and straight and lined up. Okay. Now the last one. I'll show you what kind of PVA glue I use in just a sec. Let me get this glue down and I'll show you the brand that I use. All nice and lined up. Yeah, it's all done. And let me see, the PVA glue that I use is neutral pH adhesive from Line Co. So that's what I use. I don't remember how much this was. I mean, it's not real cheap, but it's excellent stuff to use for gluing your boards down. Now this one, I think I'm going to trim a little more because it's a little bit uneven. Now this part, I always overcut. Oh, well, not always. I can't say I'm getting better at it, but you cut into the corners here and not just straight across, just sort of like cut into the corners at an angle like that. And you're going to make sure that you're about a 1/16 of an inch away from the corner, if you can see that. So I've cut it in at a slant into the corner and left about a 1/16 of an inch right there at the point. So when you fold that over, it's gonna be nice and neat, and it'll take away some of the bulk that's there. So I'm gonna do that for all the corners. All right. Okay. The next part is, is there glue in here? No. The next part is, I'll get a smaller brush, gluing down these sides. Now this is a little short. When I said I cut it a 1/2 inch away from the board, I think you should go, or 3/4 of an inch, what did I say? I think you should go a little more than what I said. It's a little bit short. I mean, it still works. I mean, there's nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong at all. But just on the safety side, I would cut them, you know, probably about this far away, because this one here is, that one's good. That's a good, this one's a little bit short over here, but that one's good right there. So like I said, I am no way a professional. I just like doing this, and I'm just showing you what I do. I wanted to show you the making of this journal. It's a Christmas present. Thanksgiving is this Thursday. See, the corners came out good. Look at it. Isn't it pretty? Look at that. Pretty. All right. There we have my book cover for this journal. That's how it's going to look. Not bad for an amateur. So the next time, the next video, what I'll show you is how I actually stick this in there, so you have the rest of the journal. So I'll see you for now, and keep a lookout for that next video when I show you how to put the pages into the cover. Have a great day, and I don't know how you could ever like this video, but if you do, please give it a thumbs up, and subscribe and share and like and do all those cool things to get my channel going, and I really appreciate it if you do that. And I thank you very much for watching, and you have a super day.